Hey, welcome to Underlying Perceptions. I haven't had a show since last year, but I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. Welcome to 2022. And, you know the show, yo, expose your catalyst for personal growth. So today's episode, we just going to talk about, a little bit more where Underlying Perceptions is going, and resolutions, New Year resolutions, and what we can expect and what we can prepare for in the year of 2022. So today I'm just going to go ahead and just start off a little shout out real quick. So I do want to go ahead and start my 2022 shout outs to definitely want to give it to God for making it another year, because 2021, just like 2020 and any other year before that, but like 2020 and 2021, man, those were 2 years of just straight, emotional roller coaster rides. Like I felt like after one ride, I got onto another, and it was a journey, and it taught me a lot about self-discipline, self-control, temptation, and being able to how can I say, be vulnerable. I actually got to sit with my mind and sit with my thoughts and kind of just be vulnerable. So 2021 definitely strengthened me, and I'm pretty sure it has strengthened most of you too. So, shout outs to everybody here 2022. I do want to say RIP to all the lost ones we have lost last year, 2020, and just overall years before here. It's a blessing to just make it this far with all these new strains of COVID going out, and, all these death statistics being, thrown at us in the media. It's just time for us to just stay in our blessings, just acknowledge our blessings, man, in this journey, because it's not going to get easier from here. That's just how life go. You got to get up and keep moving. So shout outs to everybody that's still up and moving. And I want to give a shout out to Room Service Radio. I haven't been on this platform since last year, so, I'm still here today. And, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep the show rolling. And we got more guests coming on the show soon. So today, I'm rolling solo dolo just because I'm going to talk about the resolution, what to expect from Underlying Perceptions this year. And just having a little brief conversation with my people, my viewers out there. Shout outs to Top Black Podcast for showing love to Underlying Perceptions and Room Service, alongside with Dope Black Pods, aka Dope Black Podcast. You can find them on Instagram. They support all Black podcasts, different ranges, different topics, different subjects, eclectic groups of straight knowledge, so whatever you're looking for, go ahead and tap in with them. And just like I say, Room Service Radio, we got eclectic, podcasters here too. So please tap in. Podcast is really a good wave. I've been enjoying the podcast journey. It's been amazing. I was able to kind of find my realm, because I've been in school since preschool. I haven't stopped since. I just kept going. So I never really had a break. But I would say that being able to have a platform to kind of psychoeducate, get free knowledge out there to people about mental health and what I've learned in my master's program, in my doctor's program, it's a blessing to me. I'm honored to just even have a platform to be able to go ahead and express knowledge to people pertaining to mental health. And, with Underlying Perceptions, I want y'all to understand it's all about perception at the end of the day. My way ain't always your way, and your way won't always be my way. But at the end of the day, perceptions is something we can both learn from. We can all learn from. So Underlying Perceptions, I want y'all to expect that we do talk about mental health. That's the primary focus. But, at the end of the day, it's shared knowledge, different perspectives, shared knowledge. That's what this show is all about. So I want y'all to be ready for some future guests that we're going to have. We're going to have topics that's going to, be outside the range too, just to, have people kind of know that there is a platform where you could just get free knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is at home now. People are quarantining. People are working from home. We're slowly drifting into the digital realm. We're getting into the metaverse of things. We're hearing more about the NFTs. We're starting to notice that therapists are doing more psychotherapy on Zoom. And, everything is just more so going into the technology. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but it's not a bad thing either, so it's a pro and con to it all. But I definitely feel like this is perfect for everybody just to go ahead and, branch out, be a creator, be creative, be your best you on the metaverse, on the interwebs, and just go ahead and branch out and learn different things, man. The knowledge is there. The sources are there. So there's no excuse for anything. Make it happen. So Underlying Perceptions want y'all to understand we gonna make this show pop in some more, because last season, which I consider to be season 1, was really, really dope. So I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to all my guests that popped up on the show. I want to give a shout out to Jada Darkskin, TY, Fly Guy VZ, King Dot, Simo, Rich Blood, Shariah, and let me go ahead and give a shout out to K Fly. Shout outs to Love the CEO. Let me give a shout out to IC Jones for showing love. Let me give a shout out to my boy Simo. I have to give a shout out to Jaja. Always being supportive to the podcast, man. And the thing is that the love is reciprocated. So it's always going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Reciprocity. So the word that I'm going to live by this whole 2022 is reciprocity. All right. That's the word that I'm standing by. That's just something that I feel like people need to develop in order to have this solidarity, to have this connectedness, rather than always looking at people as competition. Like, we're not in no competition with each other. We can all build each other up. We all have different minds, different ideas, different perceptions. So why not learn reciprocity? Once you learn reciprocity, communication is healthier. Moves are more strategic, and work gets done smarter, and not harder. Honestly, reciprocity is the key, y'all. So that's my word of the year, 2022. My word for last year, 2021, was indubitably, because, not to be doubted. You got to keep pushing. So that was my word last year. Made an album about it. This year, my word is reciprocity. And, if you're tuning in on this episode, go ahead and let me know what your word of the year is. And go ahead and let me know why. I'm letting you know why reciprocity means everything to me, is because without reciprocity, we're not going to get nowhere. Obviously, there's no use for me being in your life, or no use for you being in my life. So if there's no reciprocity from both sides of the parties, then move on. You know what I'm saying? I'll skedaddle, you skedaddle, and we move on. But reciprocity is the big thing for me this year, because 2021 woke me up to a lot of things. So definitely reciprocity. And if you don't know what that means, it means reciprocating the love. It means being able to give what you want in return. Reciprocity, y'all. So if you didn't know what that is, I'm glad to teach y'all something. If you know what it was and know what it is, then reciprocity is a big key to solidarity. So that's what we all about here. And I also want to go ahead and say, we lost a lot of people last year. I've seen so many RIP posts alongside with my RIP posts, man. And I just want to go ahead and just, a little flashback back to my episodes on SAD, which was the seasonal affective disorder, which was seasonal depression, and then also talking about grief. Those were heavy topics, but those were topics that I really wanted to discuss, just because I felt like 2021 is not technically over. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because we into 2022 doesn't mean it's over. Like, the pain still lingers. It's just a brand new year. Sometimes we try to mask it with resolutions, so we set ourselves these expectations because we're masking something, so we feel like an eternal conflict or something that we haven't truly confronted. We tend to use that as a mask. So we set a resolution for it, where it's like, oh, I'm about to work out for all 2022. Oh, I'm about to cut out smoking and drinking. I'm not partying. Oh, I'm cutting people off. And, it's just a mask of emotions, and then knowing that we're in this new year, people's minds reset and kind of program into this mindset that resolutions is something that we need in order for us to feel like we still have something to hold on to, because we lost so much last year and the year before that. So I'm going to talk about the psychology behind resolutions. And that's what this episode is going to be about. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about temptation. Is one of the things that come with the resolution, is fighting that temptation. Is being able to identify how can I say, self-control. Okay. So you either going to be reactive or you're going to be proactive when it comes to temptation. You know what I'm saying? So like, you say you're going to stop smoking. Best bet is don't save your weed and say, oh, I'm gonna just keep this over here, or say I'm gonna work out and just be like, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna start on Monday because it's midweek and you haven't done nothing yet, and you're like, I'm gonna start Monday. What that temptation does is it reels you in back into that procrastinative state, and then it makes you more depressed because now that you have set this expectation for yourself and it doesn't work out in your favor, you fall in depression, and it's like 2021 part 2. You know what I'm saying? So temptation, you either can be proactive towards it or you could be reactive towards it. The goal is not to be reactive. The goal is to be proactive. So it's like, it's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you miss a day at a workout. It's okay if you ended up smoking a couple puffs, if you had a couple of drinks, if you went out and got yourself some fast food when you told yourself you was cutting out fast food, et cetera, many examples on. Don't beat yourself up about it. Reset, restart, reflect, and renew. You know, go right back into it. Those are the R's right there. Just get right back in motion. You know what I'm saying? So don't be too reactive, man. Be proactive. That's the goal of your resolution when it comes to temptation. You know what I'm saying? Temptations are going to come to you every second of your life, actually. You know, you're going to deal with temptations regardless. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're coming into this year with a whole new mindset or with the ideology that is a brand new me, it's a brand new year, just be able to accept failure. You know, that's the problem. When people don't accept failure and work on the failure and find ways by being proactive to avoid failing that way again, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen overnight, but what it will do, it should leave a mark in there to teach you a lesson rather than a loss. So turn your L's into lessons. They're not losses. You know what I'm saying? We all fail. We all go through failures. But the thing is that don't let that, you know, put you under this dark cloud. Just get back up and keep moving again. You know what I'm saying? Fight that temptation and really, really, really focus on being proactive. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be reactive. It's easy to be reactive, but be proactive towards those temptations that may come to your way and prepare yourself for the temptations that you have faced last year. You know what I'm saying? Prepare yourself for any temptations that you are aware of that you have failed, you know, compromising to. You know, like, oh, the temptation got the best of you, so what would you do differently? That's being proactive. Journaling, planning out, outlining your day or your plan A to your plan Z, and you're writing it all down, and you're working step by step. You're not trying to take big steps. That's not what you're trying to do here. You want to take your baby steps. So when you do make a mistake, you don't have to worry about retracing so far back to start over again. That little step is just a stumble. You get back up, you keep walking, your journey continues. You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be multiple pebbles in your way, rocks in your way, obstacles in your way that's going to really cause you to, you know, stumble. And you may fall and scrape yourself up, get up, dust yourself off. And when I say healing yourself, you know, healing your wounds is being able to reflect, reframe, and understand. You know what I'm saying? So reflect, reframe, and understand yourself. Understand why you're in that position. Try to seek understanding why it keeps happening, and be proactive to it. You know what I'm saying? That external locus of control, thinking that the world is out to get you, or this always happens to me. Why does this? No, the world doesn't just evolve around you. You know, it's unfortunate that some things just happen, but that's life. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're still here and having the opportunity to breathe and live and see another day, the goal is to reflect and reframe. It's not going to happen overnight, but reflect and reframe and be proactive. So find a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your purpose? What do you see yourself doing in life? What is your main purpose behind your resolution? You know, you set this resolution for an example. My resolution is just an example. My resolution is to be a better me than I was last year. Well, what the hell does that mean? It means that, well, last year I've had a couple L's and downfalls that really had put me in a setback. So my goal this year is to be aware of those same setbacks or similar setbacks that I may encounter later in this path of 2022 and being proactive. And that's my purpose. I'll find my purpose by being proactive. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to connect things for people to kind of understand what I mean when we set these resolutions, because it's so easy to just say, I'm cutting out fast food. I'm cutting out all these substances. I'm no longer talking to these people anymore. It's a new year, new me. Don't let that mindset distort your reality. You know what I'm saying? And don't wait till this year to start cutting people off you didn't fuck with last year. What the hell is the point of that? Like, there's no point in that, honestly, because if you felt that way last year, you would have acted on it. So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm just going to start cutting off people, now you're projecting. Now you're externally showing what's internally wounded. You know what I'm saying? And you're projecting that onto another person rather than being proactive. You see how I'm connecting things? So that's where I'm getting at. Don't wait till 2023 or 2024 or every January 1st to actually say, I'm a renewed me. A renewed you can start on your birthday, on Easter. It can start in the middle of you waking up and you thirsty. It can start when you're in the shower and you just happen to have that thought. It can start when you're at your job where you're like, hey, I don't even think this job is for me. Some things start clicking to you in the most random times you're always going to be a different you. You're always going to renew yourself no matter what, but at the end of the day, you're still the same person with that same drive. You just have a journey that's going to be shifted in this path. So be ready for every obstacle. And rather than looking at every obstacle as a detriment to your life to where you feel like you can't do this anymore. You feel like I won't be able to move forward in life. I feel like I'll never be this person again. That's all a mindset thing. Honestly, it's a mindset thing. It's a frontal lobe thing, actually. When it goes back to the frontal lobe, where your frontal lobe, is your mental functioning, your processing memory, your working memory, your long-term memory, your short-term memory. Your frontal lobe is everything. So some people may have frontal lobe damage to where, and this goes into the mental illness, where your frontal lobe or parts of your brain or your neuro is impacted, then obviously you're going to need, assistance. You're going to need medical assistance. You're going to need psychiatric assistance. You're going to need psychological assistance. But, not everybody has the same chemical imbalance another person may have and stuff. So some things, it could be a mindset thing for you, where you're so used to this pattern of living that it traumatized you and it made you think that this is just how it goes. And that's a resolution issue. Now, let me tell you about that. It's called black or white thinking, a cognitive distortion. Black or white thinking, AKA all or nothing thinking, is where it's two polar extremes, okay? It's either this or that. There's no in between. And that's a flaw with the resolutions that we set for ourselves, is that if it don't work out, it's going to be like this. What about the middle, where that's where you can start working on being proactive? That's where you can start finding your sense of purpose. That's where you can start reflecting, reframing, rejuvenating your spirit, etc., working on yourself. What about the in between? So once again, when you set these resolutions, remind yourself, I'm gonna keep connecting the dots. That's just what I do, but remind yourself to be proactive and not reactive. You know what I'm saying? And then finding your sense of purpose while you're being proactive, it's gonna lead you to find your sense of purpose. When you find your sense of purpose, then you will be able to challenge that external and internal locus of control where you feel like things happen to you because it's you. It's me. It's XCARIGA. The world just hate me. It's always gonna happen. You can't have that mindset, man. Like, it's a mindset thing. You can't live with that mindset because it's really detrimental. It's really impairing. It's really an issue to your resolution. It's and the reason why, I'm gonna go back to what Simo said on his episode about New Year's resolutions, where people do set these high expectations for themselves, and the goal is never to set a high expectation for yourself or others. It's because not everybody's gonna meet your standards. And when they don't meet your standards because you set them so high, or when you don't meet your standards because you set them so high for yourself, you lead yourself into depression. You put yourself in this crippling depression, and your mindset starts to deteriorate a little bit because it caused you to have this distortive thinking, you know. And the reason why there's a list of cognitive distortions that I won't go over, but all or nothing thinking is definitely one of them that I can connect to when it comes to people setting their resolutions. This is because when it don't happen this way, I mean, I know y'all see the funny memes. What's the memes that everybody always say every time it's the new year? You know, this, I fucked up. I guess my next year is 2024. You know, it's like, yeah, they didn't give themselves, it haven't even been a whole 24 hours. Like, you're already stressing. You're already having that black or white over catastrophized thinking, that overgeneralized thinking. And all that's doing is just fucking up what you really have for yourself. The foundation is already set for you. You just got to go ahead and take baby steps. Stop setting these high expectations, AKA taking these big ass leaps where you're like, okay, I'm going to keep taking these big steps. Oh, okay, that one didn't hurt. I'm going to keep taking these big steps. And then the second you take that one big step where you miss a little pallet or something, and you overstep something and you end up falling hard, that's when you're going to start realizing that you're going too fast. You're moving too fast. You're trying to move at the pace of others. Don't let social media fool you. Don't let people's exuberant lifestyle fool you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you see people doing cruises, or you seeing people partying, or you seeing people with all this money and these glitz and glam, doesn't mean your life is shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean your life isn't what it's supposed to be. Not everybody is going to be a Kylie Jenner or a Kanye West or Drake or the person that you idolize on your IG, or the person that you're constantly lurking on and hating on IG or Facebook. Or don't compare. That's the problem. And that's why I went back to the word reciprocity. It's like, you know, reciprocity, solidarity. Stop trying to compare yourself. Stop trying to compare your life. Look, be you, be loving, dish out that energy, continue to be you, bring that vibe, because the more and more you bring that, you will start to see who abuses it and who actually respects it and who will show you the reciprocity back. You being too nice doesn't necessarily mean you're weak. It just means don't be gullible. Don't be oblivious. You can be a nice ass person without having to say, oh, I've been done wrong too many times. I'm done being nice. No, because now that goes back all or nothing, black or white thinking. That's what that is. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't let somebody's energy disrupt your energy. See, in 2022, people learn that if they don't serve your energy well, you have every motherfucking right, excuse my language, you have every motherfucking right to protect your energy. So protect it. And then while you're protecting your energy, work on yourself, reflect and reframe. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the key to setting an actual resolution. Like Simo says, stop setting those high expectations, y'all, for yourself and for others. How can I say it? Compromise with yourself. Like, be realistic. Don't go ahead and go. Don't think like you have to take these big steps in order for you to be where you at. Look, your pace is not nobody else's pace, and vice versa. You have to move at your own pace. If you don't, then you start lacking that sense of purpose. Then you start falling into temptation. Then you become more reactive to temptation rather than proactive. And then your reality is distorted because all you have is all or nothing thinking. So by me connecting all this, it's not saying setting a New Year's resolution is bad. Setting resolutions is amazing because it gives people hope. It gives people a drive. It's a motivating factor. So it's nothing wrong with having a resolution. But the cons of having a resolution is where those things that I was talking about are not working in your favor, or you're not allowing it to work in your favor. You're not allowing yourself to embrace the process. You know, Embiid said, trust in the process. I'm pretty sure he's not the first person to say that, but that's the first person that come to my mind when he say it. And it is trust in the process. You have to be able to trust yourself enough to trust in the process. And when you trust yourself while trusting the process, you'll be able to acknowledge, you know, who's meant to have your energy, who's not meant to have your energy. Don't let nobody disrupt your energy and disrupt everything that you got going on because one person or two people are setting this low standard for you, or you feel like you're too good for them. That's the case. Protect your energy and move on instead of draining yourself and moving too constantly. Because now it's a mindset thing. Now you're re-traumatizing yourself. Now you've become so used to that type of abuse, that mental and emotional abuse, to the point where it's like it's a norm. And when that becomes a norm, these resolutions that you tend to set for yourself every year for the past 10 plus years are not working out. So this is why I'm letting you know the psychology behind setting a resolution. All right. So we talked about being proactive rather than reactive when it comes to temptation. Right. And then another thing is we talked about is, okay, so the sense of purpose. So in between that, you know, we have these two polar extremes that some people fall into, which is all or nothing thinking. What do we fall? What's in the middle? The middle is finding your sense of purpose, being proactive, reframing, allowing yourself to make mistakes. That middle piece between those two polar extremes that you tend to set every resolution every year, those are what you need to work on. That right there is going to be your purpose. That right there is your resolution. The in between, that's your resolution. So, the reason why I say that's your resolution is because that either makes you or break you every time. It's not this one or this way. We notice that because if it's too much of this, you're going to overexceed your expectations, and then you feel like, I need more of this. And then when it don't happen, you forgot about the blessing here. And then when you fall short on this end, and then everything is falling bad, and that's all you feeding yourself is that it's just bad. It's not going to get better. It's just this and this and this. Then you become impaired here. So you can become impaired on this side of the polar extreme, or you could become impaired on this side. But that in between, that is your resolution. I hope that makes sense. So as you're in this journey, and look, it don't have to be 2022 for you to know this. Go back and reflect 2021, reflect 2020, reflect some years back, and remember, what was the in between that kept fucking me up? What was the in between that I kept focusing on? What was the in between that kept getting the best of me? What was the in between that shaped me to be the best? That's your resolution, honestly. I don't know what I can say. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's Thursday, huh? Man, it feel like we feel like we in church right now because, like, come on, like, let's be real. Let's be real. Now, another thing is, now remember when I was talking about these polar extremes is some people get too confident. Now, it's okay to be confident, but when you become too confident, the second that you tend to have a failure, or you come across an obstacle or a challenge that you haven't overcome, or is becoming so difficult for you to face, your confidence gets shut because you haven't humbled yourself. Man, I swear, man, there's too many one line. Y'all was waiting for an album. Here's the mixtape. Don't get too confident. That's the problem with people. Like, just don't get too confident. It's your resolution. Embrace it. Be humble. You know, some people say, don't be too humble. What they mean by that is, don't be too humble to the point where you become gullible, when you allow yourself to be walked on, walked over, where you allow people to put a value on you. That's what it means when see, too much of anything, excess anything, just like excess water. You drink too much water, it'll kill you. It'll drown you. Too much of anything could either kill you or it could kill your dreams. So in your head, learn not to be excess. Be able to embrace the present. You remember that day where you was like, man, I wish I had a car. And then you got that car and now you're like, damn, I need another car. I need 3 cars. I need 4 cars. It's like sometimes we just don't acknowledge the blessings that we asked for. And that's what happens when you become too confident. That's what I mean by too confident. So we're learning more about these resolutions, y'all. You know, I came with some heat today, man. And you know what's really important in the process of a resolution, because you can never do it by yourself. Even though you feel that you truly can never do it by yourself. You need people. Human connectedness is the true key to happiness. You know, the more and more you keep feeling like, I don't need nobody in my life. I don't give a fuck about nobody. The more and more you set that mindset to yourself, you're going to realize how depressing that shit is. And it puts you in an isolating state. You know, it puts you really, really in a dark place. Find you an accountability partner. That's going to help you with your resolution. The reason why I say that is because when you fucking up, that person that really love you, that has that reciprocity for you, because they know the type of person you are, they see the best in you that you may not see in yourself at that moment, they're going to be the one to call you out on your shit. You need a person like that in your life. You need people like that in your life. Whether it's family, friends, a stranger you just met, these are people that are going to hold you accountable. Find you an accountability partner, a person that's going to hold you accountable for your resolution. Hey, man, hey, you said you wasn't going to eat that burger. Put that down. Hey, you said you was coming to the gym. We got to go. Hey, you said you was going to stop smoking. Hey, it's time to put that out. Hey, you said you was not drinking. You need to pour that out. No. We on kombucha tea and we drinking this. You need to find somebody that's going to push you. You need to find people or surround yourself with people that's going to help you flourish. Because the more and more you surround yourself around all these weeds in your garden, is just going to kill your garden more, and then you're not going to have any soil to grow. So remind yourself that you do need an accountability partner in the process of this, because doing it by yourself, doing it by your lonesome, it can be challenging. It can be impairing. And then that goes back to the temptation. That goes back to the all or nothing thinking. That goes back to lack of purpose. Self-control is lacking of. These are things that I'm talking about. This is why I'm connecting everything. When it comes to a resolution, put the psychology behind it so you know what you're really setting for yourself. And, you know, even though all this sounds overwhelming, you're allowed to let yourself lapse. You know, you're allowed to let yourself relax a little bit, and you're allowed to give yourself that time of self-care and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to dedicate this whole day to myself. I need a self-care day. Let's make that normalized. Normalize that. Have a self-care day. You know what I'm saying? Now, if your self-care is binge watching Netflix, obviously you can't do that every day because then that become crippling. Like I said, excess anything. So redefine self-care, redefine that. And what does self-care mean to you? Self-care doesn't necessarily mean your hobbies. Self-care can be simply by saying, I'm not going to do this today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then literally telling yourself, I'm going to do it tomorrow without stressing the fact that you have to do it tomorrow. Allow yourself to embrace the fact that you put it off because you've done a lot. You've worked hard. Put it to the side for a day and just let yourself be free. What did you want to do? I wanted to go hiking today. And I got to do this essay. When is your essay due? It's due next week. So you're going to be proactive. You want to go ahead and put that out on the side and go release some endorphins. The choice is on you. When you start setting the mindset like, no, I know how I am. I'm a procrastinator. If I don't do it now, that's a mindset thing. You see how you're already setting that resolution for yourself. You already set it for yourself. So that becomes impairing rather than acknowledging the fact like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to come back to it. Let me go clear my thoughts. Let me go clear my mind. Let me step away from this paper. Let me go hike. Let me go over here. Let me go over there. Let me go do something away from this stress. Let me find ways to manage my stress, reduce my stress, and to improve my mental well-being, my physical well-being, and my emotional well-being. All important. So 2022, redefine self-care. That's a resolution too. Redefining what self-care means to you is a resolution. Yes, it is. And, going back to self-control, that is something that we have to practice daily. Okay, so self-control, that once again is another thing that don't happen overnight. It's like your self-control, you'll start to find yourself going to the same patterns. You'll find yourself engaging in the same behavioral patterns, having the same mental thought process. And all that does is it shapes your reality because nobody else's reality is like that. So that's something to put in your mind is that I'm always thinking like that, but you got to realize there's millions of people around this world that are that are obviously in different chapters of this book of life, but at the same time, not everybody's reality is like yours. You think the world is going to end while this person is like, my world is just beginning. So having that mindset to challenge yourself and understand what that self-control really is to you, that's a New Year's resolution. Self-control, self-care, being proactive, and acknowledging the in-between, the two polar extremes that you set for your resolution are your New Year resolutions. I'm not telling you exactly or specifically what your resolution is to you. I'm saying behind the psychology behind the resolution, these are things that you should consider while you're shaping your resolution. And while you're considering that and shaping your resolution, believe it or not, that is your resolution. 2022, hello, it's just a beginning. We're just getting started. You know what I'm saying? We're barely into the 6th day. You know what I'm saying? And we're going into the 7th. We're still in January. You know, all of us probably felt like we already messed up already. It's like, no. Your New Year's resolution can happen anytime. Your New Year's resolution probably didn't even happen on the 1st. You just set that belief. You masked your internal and your external challenges with a New Year's resolution, but really you wasn't prepared for that because you're still working on your resolution that you already had, that you're still working on from years ago. And you just not knowing that it's repeating into the next time period. Like I said, Prince said time don't exist. Time is just to organize life a little bit. But really, your resolution can start later. Your resolution is probably still from 1990 something. Your resolution is probably still when you was in high school setting resolutions. You know what I'm saying? These are things to consider. Your resolution is you reshaping your definition of self-care, self-control, and then being proactive towards that for yourself because you owe it to you. That's your resolution. Setting high expectations for yourself and others, that's not New Year's resolutions. All that does is it fucks up your journey because the second things don't go well, you forgot all about that resolution. You're back at square one and you don't even care about square two. You're just going to stay there. And then when next year come around, new year, new me. And it's like, no, new year, same you. The goal is to challenge yourself and embrace your journey and then shape yourself in that. That's the process of growth. Shaping yourself that way, that's the process of growth, y'all. New Year's resolution, we all have a different perception on it. Like I said, I'm not telling you specifically what your resolution is, but I'm telling you that these are things to consider when shaping your resolution because it's all about you. You got to make the choice to make that step of change towards growth. Who you surround yourself with says a lot about you. If you feel that people are hating on you, people aren't supporting you the way you are supporting them, like I said, reciprocity is my word. You feel like none of that is, it's up to you to continue letting your energy be drained that way because it's your energy. They have their own energy and they're showing you theirs towards you. So you have every right to protect yours and reshift your focus somewhere else. Now, cutting people off all of a sudden because it's a new year and you're not texting nobody or you're not, to me, that's just childish. That's a childish mentality, honestly. And I'm going to call it out. It's a childish. I see a lot of people talking about cutting people off this year. What I truly feel like what they're trying to say is that I'm tired of not having reciprocity. That's what I see. How about we change the metaphors? How about we change our verbiage? How about we change the words we speak and try to manifest something differently? Instead of saying I'm cutting people off, how about we just say, I'm protecting my energy. I'm reshifting my focus. I'm learning to lean towards growth. I'm learning more about myself. I'm reflecting and reframing myself. I'm rejuvenating my spirit, et cetera, et cetera. Find different metaphors. Don't use those negative connotations to shape your resolution because then you put a negative juju behind it because the words you're putting out, it's a negative connotation behind cutting people off. I'm cutting you off. You're done. I don't rock with you like that. I'm cutting you off. Does that sound like a resolution? Does that sound like a renewed you? Does that sound like growth? What I think you're trying to say is that I'm trying to protect my energy. And I feel like the reciprocity isn't being shown. Feed yourself different metaphors. Find different words. Read more. Write more. You know, like I said episodes ago, you know, journaling is a thing, you know, compared to typing it on a phone and a computer. Actually writing it out and then reading it out loud manifests a lot better. It manifests way better. Why? It's because you're hearing your words out loud. You're hearing your thoughts out loud, writing them down, organizing your thoughts. And the more and more you do that, the more you're going to act upon it. When you're on your phone, it's like you can write your goals down, but then on your phone, what do you have? You have all these other things you're multitasking with, like your Facebook. And then that's going to corrupt everything you was just thinking about changing, because now you're caught up in the Facebook world and the Instagram world and all the drama on this and the media is just feeding these scare tactics. So you got all this going in and you're multitasking all these emotions, and it's like, learn to monotask. Write your shit down, focus on what you're writing down, and work on yourself. Therefore, you don't have to worry about saying things like, oh, I'm tired of people treating me this way, or da-da-da-da-da. Hey, man, everybody feel that way. I've heard so many people say, man, I'm tired of fake people. So where the real ones at? Because everybody fake. Because they not fitting your expectations. Like I said, it's a kind of distortion. It's a black or white thinking, but nobody thinks about the in-between. The person that you said ain't hit you up for weeks and you feel some type of way about it, what is that person going through? Maybe that person is working on themselves and you're too focused on this or this, but not thinking about this. And then here, you should really be working on yourself, just like the next person. Happy New Year's, y'all. Real talk. So that's my definition of a resolution. You know, very in depth. Yet it was lengthy, a little over 30 minutes. But I wanted to tell y'all that's my definition of a resolution. That's what I'm working on myself, and I've been working on myself like that. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. 2019. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. 2019, I really started seeing myself on a path of growth. You know, yeah, I was on this journey in 2017 and 16 and whatever, but like I had some major setbacks that really had me reflect a little bit in 2019, and then 2020 came and it was like, oh, okay, now I got to reset myself. And that's what I meant by being proactive to the obstacles that's going to come your way, preparing yourself for the possible, obstacles and challenges that's going to come your way. Because just because 2020 and 2021 is over, 2022 still continues. And all that pain that we've dealt with in the past couple of years is going to carry on. But knowing that this year may bring on more pain and more emotional rides, we need to prepare ourselves. And by preparing ourselves, we're working on ourselves and being understanding of what our needs are and what we want met. Also, while being understanding that setting high expectations doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have this utopia of a world. Don't set high expectations and don't set low ones. Best bet is take the time to embrace the present and work on yourself. They say tomorrow is never promised, but if you're here making the changes that's going to bridge into your tomorrow, that's what matters. So everybody, relax on the resolution. Relax on the new year, new me. Oh, fuck that. New year, old you. You're just on a new path. Come on, I got a song about it. It's called New Year on the Indubitably Project. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and tap in. We're going to slap that at the end of the show. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I just wanted to keep it brief about New Year's resolution. Wanted to open up my first episode in 2022 about a New Year's resolution, the psychology behind it, and letting people know, prepare yourselves for the pain, prepare yourselves for the gains that we may encounter this year. You know what I'm saying? And what are we going to do to make the changes, to make the differences, and to take the proper steps? You know what I'm saying? And when I say proper steps, being mindful that you could take big steps is okay, because it's similar to taking a big risk. But don't take big steps all the time. Like I said, too much of anything. Taking too many baby steps, you become elementary to life sometimes, So it's like, have that balance, work on that balance, find your balance. It's not going to happen overnight, but this is the best time to use that New Year's resolution that you set for yourself to actually reflect and reframe and redefine. And then my fourth R, rejuvenate. You rejuvenate it. You know what I'm saying? So don't let yourself sit dry. Rejuvenate your spirit. Define your self-care, your sense of purpose, your self-control, and develop that self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on being a better you and improving yourself. for the purpose of your energy, your spirit, because nobody's going to do it for you. And the energy that you put out is the energy you receive. And that's something else to remember. Just because you're the nice guy, you're the good guy, and all the bad things happen to you, doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean you should stop being nice. It just means that it's time to reflect, redefine, reframe, and then you rejuvenate. And then you continue this process daily. Okay. This is not going to happen one time. This is going to happen daily. I'm learning about myself every day. The second I go to sleep and I wake up, I have this mindset where I got to do something to make this day memorable. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something that's not going to be crippling. I got to do something that's going to keep me moving and keep me motivated and focused. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff is for the birds, y'all. Nobody has the responsibility to make the resolution for you. It's your responsibility. And then find you an accountability partner. You know, like I said, that's very key. Surround yourself around people that want you to grow. Don't surround yourself around people that are killing your garden because you won't grow. Don't surround yourself with people that's killing your garden. Look, keep your garden fresh. You know what I'm saying? Fruits of your labor is for you. It's there. And then you can disperse that to your people, to your community. And then the reciprocity will come. It will come. So reciprocity is my word of the year. And resolution is just something that we have to redefine, because a lot of us set these cognitive distortions to where it's not reality. It's not realistic. Let's be real. Because then the second you mess up, where's that energy at that you had when you did the countdown? It's not the same. The vibe is different. And I'm going to be honest with you, you know, knowing this COVID and all this is going on and all the depression that we've been going through, the grief we've been going through, you know, New Year's haven't felt the same. But once again, it doesn't mean that I stop doing what I'm doing. Doesn't mean you stop doing what you're doing. Doesn't mean you stop your foundation. It means you continue to build, you continue to grow. Life comes with perishing. Life comes with these challenges. Life comes with pain. You know what I'm saying? We have to deal with it as humans. We have to deal with it. But while we're dealing with it, we also have to be proactive, y'all. So be proactive towards your resolution. All right. And I want to go ahead and just say that thank you, everybody, for showing love for Underlying Perceptions. You know, thank you to all the views that's been, you know, coming in on all the medias for the show. Shout out to Room Service Radio again for allowing this platform to have Underlying Perceptions. And, you know, it's been growing. It's doing its thing. I love the route that it's going. I love the people that are tuning in and providing their own perceptions, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the world is ours. So why not learn from each other? You know what I'm saying? And I love learning different, you know, point of views. You know, we can have a debate. We can agree to disagree. You know, we don't have the agree on the same thing or have the same exact perception. You know, we don't have to go in combat mode because we disagree with each other. Nah. We're grown. We can communicate. We can talk to each other and show that in front of your youth. You know, going back to the kids, man, like show the youth that this is the best way to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Teach them at a young age, because this is the best way to do it, is being able to understand we all have different perceptions and it's okay to agree to disagree without having to feel combative or without having to feel sad or feel like nobody understands you. Like, yeah, they may understand you, they just don't agree. And we got just accept it, you know what I'm saying? But we learn it. We're all learning. So thank you guys for tuning in to Underlying Perceptions. And y'all know the mantra, it will remain the same. Be real. You don't have to be perfect. Much
Growing and learning through the day to invest my energy, only to be something great while I'm building my embassy. Transcending into a different mindset to be a better me. Ascending to be my higher self to achieve a greater dream. New year, new me, nah fuck that. New year, same me on a new path. Living my life cause I know that life hit fast. New year, the old me still get that. New year, new me, nah fuck that. New year, same me on a new path. Living my life cause I know that life hit fast. New year, the old me still get that. Yep. I gotta be mindful investing my energy. Awareness is a benefit to your inner peace. You gotta make changes, you feeling me? Focus on healing your own sensitivity. Check your alignment and life of your entity. Drunk words, sober thoughts off this Hennessy. Power of the tongue, so manifest what you speak. Keep on going, keep on growing every day. Consistency the key, so keep on grinding in every way. Timing is everything to make this change, so I keep my faith. Motivated in the life that I live, so I'm always pushing through the pain, bruh. New year, new me, nah, fuck that. New year, same me on a new path. Living my life cause I know that life hit fast. New year, the old me still get that. New year, new me, nah, fuck that. New year, same me on a new path. Living my life cause I know that life hit fast. New year, the old me still get that.